All right, if you are not a prompt person, you really do not like prompts. I built Flask Commands for those people too. For those people who love prompts, Flask Commands is for you. For those people who do not like prompts, Flask Commands is also for you. You can avoid that prompt by giving specific options in the Flask Make view. So it looks like there's three here, but it's really kind of two. You can avoid when you so you're we saw that we're going to see a prompt when we end with a RESTful action. It's this statement right up here in the docs. When you say generate a route for me, and you end it with a RESTful action, and Flask looks at the immediate segment before that RESTful action, and that's not there, checks whether it's registered or not. If that's not there, then you're going to get prompted. We saw in this prior video that if we actually had recipes, that model already registered, we avoided the prompt. And so that is one way to avoid the prompt, is go ahead and have your model already built. Or you could tell Flask Commands that you want Flask Commands to build the model with a -m. So, hey, Flask Commands, you go generate the model. Or I'm going to be more controlling, and I'm going to say, I want you to build the model with -m, and here's the model name that I want you to build. So if you do that, one of those things, then you will not see the prompt. If you tell Flask Commands what the route is, then it will not prompt you to ask you what the route is. So that's another way to avoid the prompt. So I have 6 different commands I'm going to show you that all avoid, the prompt. So let's show you those. So I went ahead and off camera, I created 6 new Flask applications, examples 1 through 6. So we're just going to cd into example 1, and we will run it. All right. So brand new Flask application. Here's my hello world. And in this one, just so you can see, I want the index in the route. So I want route recipes/indexed. Just so you can see, we don't have that. That's a 404 error. So let's go here, and we are going to do Flask make view, and then we are going to say recipes.index, and instead of -rc, I'm going to keep the -c. So go ahead and generate the controller. We saw what happens, the weird thing that happens if I don't include the controller. It uses the main controller, and because we're calling it index and we already have an index, it's just going to present the same landing page as the hello world. So let's actually do --route, and we're going to give the route. So we're going to say /recipes/index. So if I can get that all on one line here, I might have to bump the font down just a little. So we're saying Flask make view, and we want recipes.index. Go ahead and generate a route for us. So it's going to create a recipes route. Generate a controller for us. It's going to create a recipes controller for us. And the route I want you to use is this route. You could put literally anything here that you want. I'm just kind of using the RESTful actions. But you could put my cool route, and it would use that route, and it will not prompt you. We'll just stick with what's in the docs here. Recipes index. All right, bada boom, and watch this page. I lost my 400 error, which is good. That's exactly what we expected. And if you go in here, you're gonna see the route of recipes index using the recipe controller. Okay, so that was example one. Good. And we did not get prompted. That was the main thing. But like I said, you could put anything here. So just because I put /index, that wasn't the thing that prevented the avoiding of the prompt. The thing that prevented the avoiding of the prompt is I was controlling what the route was. The prompt from Flask Commands was saying, what route do you want to use? So when you specifically tell it the route, then you don't see the prompt. So we'll do this in example 2, and we will close all these and hope the poor Chrome does not get confused. We'll cd out of this one and into example 2, and we will run that. Okay, yes, I trust the author. It was me. All right, so let's bump this up, and we'll do, oops, 5,000. Okay, and we're going to go to recipes. You get 404 error, and if I do recipes/index, just so you know, I'm not pulling the wool over your eyes here. That's also a 404 error. So let's go back to recipes, and let's paste this one in. So Flask make view recipes.index, and then generate a controller for me. So it'll tell me what controller it uses. And then here's the specific route I want you to use, which is just recipes in this case. And then it generated the controller. We see that. And there's our web page. No 404 error. So good. All right, let's go back here. And also notice no prompt. All right, so you can specifically tell it the route, and then it will build that out. Now, in those cases, even with this one, you're not going to get a model. So let's just show you that. So we're in example 2 here, and if I look at my models, I do not see a recipe model because I never told it to make a recipe model. Now, you got the model when you saw the prompt because you were saying, yes, I intend for there to be a model. But here, we just specifically told it what to do, and so it did not make a model. So in the event that you wanted that model, you could go through the prompt. There's other ways, though, to avoid the prompt and still get the model. All right, so, and that's what we're going to show now. So let's do this. Okay, so let's look at this command. So we're going to do Flask make view recipes index, generate the controller for me, which is going to be a recipes controller. Here's my route. It's this RESTful recipes showing all the recipes. And go ahead and make a model called recipe. And that will be, and we're in example 2, so we'll go to example 3 and make that. Let's terminate this. Okay. So we'll cd out of here. We'll go to example 3, and we will run that example. This should now be dead. And let's run that example. Okay. So vanilla, I haven't touched this except for just the Flask make new to generate the app here. Poor Chrome is struggling. We may have to go to Safari, which is okay. It's because I've opened up and closed the web application so many times. So let's go here though. just so you can see, there's no model recipes. It's not registered. I just have users. Routes are just the main. Templates, just main. So let's do this command. So we're going to say Flask make view and then recipes.index. Okay, generate the controller. The route, so minus route, is going to be recipes. And the model is going to be recipe, no S. All right. So I'm going to do this in example 3. Let's see if Chrome has gotten back. If not, we'll switch over to Safari. Okay, there's my hello world. And just so you can see, you know, trust but verify. We've already seen it in code, but we're not found here on recipes. Okay, so we'll have to refresh the page manually. All right, so we'll run this. And the only thing that got generated up here was the recipe controller. The rest of it, you told it what to do. Now let's refresh the page. Hey, look at that. So nice. It's so nice when things just work. So let's go to VS Code. Look at that. For example 3, there's recipes. And in the models, so it got registered. There's the model, so ready for you to add new columns, ready for you to make a migration. Do that in future videos when I talk more about models. Just for now, I'm just showing you the files on disk. Here's recipe, here's the route, recipes. There's recipes, the routes, and then the template, recipes, the index page that we just saw, and then the controller, recipes. Okay, so that was example 3. All right, so let's close all these. All right, we'll CD out of here and into example 4. And in this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do pretty much the exact same thing, but instead of telling it the model name, I'm going to say, hey, Flask Commands, just go ahead and generate the model name for me. So that's with -m, and I can stick the -m and the -c together and just say -cm. All right, so let's do this one. And I'm going to avoid the prompt here too. So we will run this example. So we're in example 4. We trust the author. Chrome is still just really poor Chrome. It's just confused. So we'll come back here. We'll refresh the page, 404. But when I go to my landing page, I do see a hello world. Okay, so this time I'm going to have it generate the model for me. Still going to avoid the prompt. So Flask make view recipes index. Okay, generate the controller and generate the model this time for me. And I think I had it in this order. It really doesn't matter. -- route. And then I'm going to tell it the route is recipes. As long as you're telling it the route and you're not asking it to generate the route, it's not going to prompt you for what the route is. Let's just make sure that is the order that I put it here. So you can do this in any order you want. You can put the -cm before the route or after, whichever you prefer. It will work out the same. All right, so let's run that. And let's let's see, the recipe controller got generated and the model got generated for you. And there's the recipe model that says that got generated for you. Let's go over to Safari. We told it the route was recipes. So let's see. Hey, we do not get a 404 error. What popped up there in my URL was like the show page, right? So if you had done recipes.show, then you would have a route like this. Just focusing right now on the index page. Okay, so we're in example 4, just making sure. Yes, example 4 here, folder. So let's see that we have a new model. Yes, there's recipes right there. And that was from the -m, or that was what created this file. Here's the controller, recipe controller, that's the -c part. And here's the route, and you told it what route to use, which was /recipes. Okay, so long video. We're almost there, because at the very end you're just gonna do -rmc. Before I do that, let's say just -rc and actually tell it the model. And this is kind of the example that I had with the prior video with models, but in this example, the model is not already generated for you. This is basically doing it on the fly, but you're telling it what model to use. Okay, so let's try that out in example 5. So we will close all these down. Terminate, 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 terminate. All right, we're gonna cd out of here and into example 5. We will run that. All right, yes, I trust the other. It's me. Hey, Chrome is back. Yay, Chrome. So happy that you're happy. Let's check out recipes in example 5. You should have nothing, 404 error. And let's go to here, just so you know. I do not have a model in here other than users. There it is, no registered recipes. All right, so let's go and let's say, in this example, I want to generate the controller. There were so many examples here. We're going to generate the route, generate the controller, -rc, but specifically tell it the model. In the prior example, we had it generate the model. All right, so let's go Flask, make view, recipes index, and then generate the route, generate the controller. This is really, -rc is what I basically constantly reach for. And then this time I'm going to tell it the model. So if I want to be in control, I do -model. If I just want it to generate the model, I just do -model. And just to be lazy, I don't have to separate the -models. The minus is out. I can just say -r MC, which is the same as -r, -c, -m. So, from my understanding. All right, so we're not going to do that one yet. We're going to do this one. -model recipe. Okay. Press return. Now, we had 2 generation things that were to be generated, and it was the route and the controller. It used for the route recipes because you told it to make the model. So it first made the model, and then it checked and said, hey, is there a recipes model? Yes, there is. So I don't need to prompt the user. I'm just going to use /recipes when I generate the route. And so that's what it did. So no prompt there. And if we go here, we now no longer have a 404 error. Yay. Okay. What got created in VS Code was there's the model, and there it is. And here is the route, recipes, and there it is, serving the recipe controller index page, which is serving recipes index.html. So under templates, recipes, index.html, there you go. All right, so let's close that. And now, the big one, the one that I use pretty much all the time, minus RCM. So minus generate the route, generate the controller, and generate the model. This is really what I designed the package for, but all this other stuff up here, which probably took me more time in coding, was what you would use when you want full control. So when you want all the bells and whistles and you want to have a very custom scenario, you have that ability. But when you want something just quick on disk, you use minus RCM, and the order of these does not matter at all. So we'll cd out of here and cd into example 6. All right, we will close all these other tabs because I don't want a bajillion tabs open. Okay, we will run this. All right, I trust myself. And we are, let's see, get the URL up so everything is running. And in this case, we are going to have Flask Commands generate absolutely everything for us. So let's go back to the terminal. We're going to say Flask make view recipes.index minus generate the route, generate the controller, and because I don't want the prompt, I want a model generated. And so it's going to generate the model. It's going to generate the model first. And because you ask it to generate the route, it's going to use /recipes. Just so you can see, I'm pulling the wool over your eyes. And like example 6 has everything already made for it. This is a 404 error on disk right now. We under app, we have models, and then just the user model in there. There's no recipe routes, there's no recipe controllers, there's no templates with recipes in it. So it's all just mains. All right, so here we go. Get rid of this. That was just me typing so you understood what was going to happen here. And I did pull this up. Yep, we're a 404 error. I just like seeing the web page come to life. That's just makes me happy. Okay, so hit enter, no prompt, boop, and look at that. Then we have the route recipes. If I go to /index, I have a 404, which is what we expected. Yay. I know this was a long video, so if you hung in there at the very end with me, then thank you. And we'll pick up in the next video. Let's just see what got made on disk here. Oh, look at that. Isn't that so nice? So here's the models. You're seeing the index on models. You're seeing a recipe registered. You have a recipe model, so it's going to ready for your migration for your recipes table. There's the recipe controller. Everything just works. Here's the route, just so you see it's /recipes. Right there. All right, so 6 examples all in one video. That was a lot. This was the finale. I'm just going to use -RMC, but if you want that makes Flask Commands do all the heavy lifting when you do that. But if you need any kind of custom thing, and then you have the ability to do it through specifically telling it the model or specifically telling it the route. You can also do something with controller. You can actually specifically tell it what controller to use or what controller to make. We'll see that more when we get into controllers. All right. We'll talk in the next video about kind of the differences between that route and model and then generated model version. See you in the next video.